Hello and greeting to my lecture and my fellow classmates. My name is Jennifer Bindol. So in this presentation, I will be sharing my infographic title, which is the intricacies of Islamic composition within Islamic aesthetic. So Islamic are an important form of Ottoman decorative art, known for their detailed floral patterns, balanced composition, and meaningful use of colors. These elements are closely linked to the principle of Islamic aesthetics, such as unity, harmony, and also the repetition. So, in this presentation, I will be summarize my research, then walk you through the infographic, and explain my design choice, and also for the end with a short conclusion. Before designing the infographic, I began by researching the origin, characteristic, and design principle of Islamic. Islamic were developed in town of Izmit, which is Turkey, during the 50 to 70 centuries. They have become highly valued in the Islamic world for their beauty, craftsmanship, and strong symbolic meaning. These ceramics were often used in mosques, palaces, and homes, reflecting both artistic expression and spiritual values. So, from my research, I focus on several scale components, which is motif, symmetry, pattern structure, and color symbolism. The motif commonly used in aesthetic design include the stylized flowers such as tulips, carnation, roses, and hyacinth. These were not just decorative, but they symbolize paradise, purity, and the divine beauty in nature. The composition were usually using the repetitive and symmetrical arrangement, often based on geometric frameworks. This kind of structure is centered in Islamic as in represent balance, unity, and the idea of infinity. And I also studied the color palette used in Islamic. The most distinctive color include cobalt blue, turquoise, emerald green, and a deep red known as Islamic red or tomato red. These colors are more than visual, but they carry a meanings. For example, for the blue color is often linked to spirituality and calmness, while the red one is contrast and energy. So throughout my research, I refer to really able academic sources, museum archive, and example of original Islamic pieces, or to better understand how all of these design elements work together to form a complete, meaningful composition. Now, I will show you through the case section of my infographic. The infographic structure into several parts, each highlighting a specific aspect of Islamic design. Let's begin with section 1. The title is Formal Principle of Aesthetic Composition. This section explains how aesthetic artists applied formal design elements such as symmetry, repetition, pattern organization, and balance. These principles are what give aesthetic art its distinct order and elegance. I included example of radial symmetry, where motif radiate out from a central point, and mirror symmetry, where design are reflected evenly on both sides. These symmetrical compositions are not only aesthetically pleasing, but also reflect spiritual concept in Islamic art, like unity and divine perfection. The section also shows how repeating floral motifs such as tulip, carnation, and sas leaf are structured within geometric grids or frames. This control arrangement allows for a continuous flow of design across tiles and surface. Altogether, this formal principle form the foundation of Islamic composition, balancing artist creativity with geometric discipline. And moving on to section 2, which is titled Motif Structure and Deconstruction, Pattern Background. In this section, I focus on analyzing how the motif in Islamic are structured and how they can be broken down into basic shape and lines to understand how the overall pattern is built. I include constructed visuals that show the underlying geometry behind the floral motif, such as circle, curved stem, and interlocking leaf. This makes it easier to understand how complex patterns are actually formed through simple repeated structure. And the purpose of this background is to explore how ethnic artists use blending and precision. Every motif and line follow a compositional logic, and when we deconstruct we can see the rhythm and flow that make the pattern feel unified. Deconstructing the pattern also help reveal how the negative space play a role in balancing the composition. The background isn't just empty; it supports the flow. It supports the flow, and movement of the motif. This part of the infographic show that beneath the beauty of aesthetic design, there is a highly organized and fruitful structure, a balance between artistic expression and mathematical clarity. Now, let's look at section 3, color symbolism in aesthetic ceramic. In this part, I explore the use of color in aesthetic ceramic, and which is not only visually striking but also rich in meaning. The main color used in aesthetic art include cobalt blue, turquoise, and emerald green, and also the signature red known as aesthetic red or tomato red. These colors are not chosen randomly. They each carry symbolic meaning that connect to broader themes in Islamic aesthetic. For example, blue represents spirituality, infinity, and calmness. And it is dominant color in many Muslim tiles, creating a peaceful and sacred atmosphere. Turquoise is linked to freshness and protection, while the green is to symbolize paradise and eternal life. And the red is add vibrancy and contrast, often used to highlight key details in the design. I also show how these colors are balanced in composition, usually with blue as the base and red or green used to exchange contrast. This color placement help guide to viewers' eyes and strengthen the harmony of the pattern. Overall, this section reveals that color in aesthetic ceramic is both decorative and meaningful, contributing to the overall beauty, balance, and symbolism of the artwork. Now, I will explain the design rationale behind this infographic, especially in section 4, Islamic aesthetic in aesthetic composition. This section highlights how the elements found in aesthetic ceramic reflect core values in Islamic aesthetic. The first principle is unity. In Islamic art, unity is reflect the oneness of God and interconnectedness of all creation. In aesthetic composition, unity is achieved through repeated motif, symmetrical layouts, and balanced visual structure. Next is order. Aesthetic artists follow precise geometric rules in constructing each design, creating a sense of control and discipline. This order reflects the deeper belief that beauty is arises from divine structure, and this is not chaos. The third is aniconism. Aniconism is the avoidance of human and animal imagery in Islamic art. Instead of using figurative representation, aesthetic artists explore motif and abstract form and geometry to express spiritual meanings. Repetition is another key element. The use of repeated motif is not only create rhythm and harmony, but also reflect the idea from remembrance and continuous price in Islamic culture. Finally, we have infinity. Pattern in aesthetic ceramic often give the illusion of continuing beyond the frame, symbolizing the eternal nature of divine truth. This is achieved through stencilation and flowing designs without a fixed beginning or end. Altogether, I designed this infographic to reflect this principle with a clean layout, symmetrical flow, and stylized imagery that speak to the spiritual essence of aesthetic ceramic. So, in conclusion, this infographic presentation has helped me to explore the deeper meaning behind aesthetic ceramic composition, especially how formal design elements are closely tied to Islamic aesthetic values. Through the study, I have learned that aesthetic ceramic are not only beautiful artwork, but it's also structured reflection of unity, order, and spiritual purpose. The use of symmetry, geometric balance, and stylized motif, and also the color symbolism and infinite pattern repetition, also to express values such as tawhid, unity, and harmony, and the eternal nature of divine creation. And I now I have a better appreciation of how art can be used not just to decorate, but not to communicate belief system and cultural identity through form. I have also included a list of reference and visual source at the bottom of the poster to support the information presented. Thank you very much for your attention, and I hope this presentation offer a clear understanding of the formal beauty and spiritual depth of Islamic composition. Thank you.